This shocked me. I wasn't prepared for how good it actually is. Could this be as good as a Gibson SG? Well, no. But it is more interesting and really cool. I reckon with a great setup, it'll be just as fun to play. So let's get it. This is getting a service. Yeah. Guys, if you're doing these weird luthier knots, where you wrap it over and tie a knot in it and twist it up like this and it looks like that, there's a special place in hell for you. No need for it. Jesus, stop doing it. Oh, I will show you guys how to string your guitar strings. It's not rocket science. These frets are going to need a tiny bit more work. They're a little bit more tarnished than I thought they were. I'll use these secondary, but we'll get something with a little bit more heavy duty on them to start with. Yep, it's the steel wool. I absolutely hate this, but there's nothing on the market that gets as good a result. I do have a company sending me some stuff, so keep a lookout for that video. It's a whole polishing system, so we'll have a crack at that. But for now, this is where I get the best results. If you do use steel wool, make sure you tape up your pickups. You don't want the fine bits getting in your magnets. And it makes a mess too, so I am 100% keen to find a better solution. Hopefully this new product that is being sent to me, well, new to me, it's been around for a while. Video started coming out for it about 6 months ago, I think. They did send me an email, but I lost it in my junk. I just happened to find it recently, so I emailed them back and they said, yeah, sure. So, when I get it, it would have been perfect for this guitar. It's exactly what it needs, but when I get it, we'll do one of my other ones. I think this guitar is unique enough to warrant me making a video on, just even just to document it. A little bit of fact checking, and yes, indeed, these are a Wellington made guitar. They made guitars and basses. Like I said, they made a lot of Fender and Gibson sort of knockoffs. Very cool guitars. This one here is actually made out of Kauri, which is a native New Zealand timber. But the cool thing about this is it used to be an old church pew. That is so cool. The pickguard on this is actually a piece of an old drum kit. I would say that's the outer shell. But what a cool reuse of products too, man. Such a cool guitar. Don't believe Weta are making guitars anymore. Not that I can find anyway. I found a few for sale, but don't believe they are in manufacture anymore, which is a shame. As you guys know, I'm a massive fan of weird, unique, odd things, broken stuff that I can make cool again, all that sort of thing. So this one for me is just really about documenting it. It's a cool guitar. Do you guys remember that show that used to be, I think it was on Discovery? It was called Rick's Restoration. No, it wasn't called Rick's Restoration. It was called American Restoration, and the place was called Rick's Restorations or something like that. Cool show. It was a family run business. The people used to bring them old hacked up stuff and they used to restore them. Used to love watching that. I'm kind of a mix between that and American Pickers, I reckon. If I could go out on the road and find people's junk guitars and then turn that into a resto and then on sell them, how cool would that be? If you want to see me go picking for shitty broken guitar, then do a full-blown resto on it. It'd be a resto mod though, because I like resto mods. Hit me up in the comments, let me know. Block your ears. Through here, I'm going to work some of this in as a cleaning agent. So I'm going to use my toothbrush style brush to really work it into the grains. Screws have been hacked out a little bit before. It's either from running your screwdriver or electric drill too fast to start with, or from having the wrong size bit. That's on there extraordinarily tight. There it is. Oh, this is cool. So we've got hand signature Weta 14807. I believe that'll match with that 14801. Oh, that's a 1, just messy handwriting. What do we got on here? Ah, so that's a print off that. I'm not sure what this is. S6 3 circled. I was looking for a date on it, but oh well. We'll just go with the 90s that we were told it was. No big deal, but still a cool guitar. Absolutely no two ways about that. So the frettings are just a bit grabby, so I'm just going to give them a little kiss with the fret file. Just on the corners here. I mean, if you listen, yeah, that is. Grabbing the cloth, that just means sharp. So I'm just going to give them a little kiss. I don't need much. Let's have a look at that. Heaps better. Not grabby anymore. I'm a right-hander, so rather than trying to do stuff upside down, just turn the guitar around. Makes your life so much easier. Some people don't bother with the top frets. I do because I like to use my thumb, and I also grip the guitar quite a lot too. So, and also if you're looking down on your guitar, that's the pretty part you're going to see. Now what I like to do is just use a couple of really fine micro pads. So that one there's a 1500 and that one there's like a 6000 or something. But what I like to do now is just get rid of any tooling marks. Kind of use it like a bit of a flapper, so you run down one edge and then run back with the other edge. Not doing any damage to the guitar, we're working on this edge, which only helps to smooth out any sharp corners as well. Perfect. Same on the top. Run down the edge. And then back the other way. Probably can't see there. And back the other way. And now we've got super pretty frettings. And no more grabbing. Yeah, that's pretty. Okay, now that that fingerboard has been goodly cleaned, I'll put on some for a dress. So this lot I'm going to let soak in for a bit. Yes, I'm being a bit generous with it. That's because these guitars have been sitting for quite a while. If you're like me and like to regularly condition your fingerboard, then you can use less. You don't want to over condition a board, but you also don't want to let it dry out. I live in a very humid, hot climate, so I am constantly tweaking my guitar necks because I like to leave my guitars out the cases because I like to play them. That's interesting. That's the exact same kind of sticker that the Jensen guitar had on it. It's also interesting that they used mini pots in here. They were obviously trying to do it cheaply. Oh, if it was my guitar I'd rewire it, but it's not my guitar and it is vintage and we are trying to keep it original. So control your urges, Phil. Let's get these a bit clean. These tail pieces aren't usually screwed down like that, so it's very interesting that it is like that. Yeah, good decision. There's lots of crap underneath. Let's just brush it off first. And give it a good clean. I'm just using a fine cutting compound. It's just a paint correction. I like these chemical guys ones. I find they do work really well and they smell great. And again, on these old vintage guitars like this, especially ones that I don't own, if it's mine I'll probably hit it with the power tools, but I think giving these a nice gentle hand polish is the way to go. I don't want to take too much of that old finish off. I just want to give it some shine back. So doing this by hand is plenty enough. I'm not trying to mirror finish it, just trying to give it some luster back. This finish kind of feels more like a varnish or a shellac or something like that. It's definitely not nitro. It's definitely not poly. So yeah, some type of varnish I think. So I thought I'd give you a bit of a look at this. These pickups here, I was trying to adjust the pickup heights and realised, okay, there's no adjustment in those. So I thought, well, let's get them off, see what's going on. But these adjuster screws are actually, all they do is hold on the cover. And the cover has a ground wire in there, you can't really see that. And the pickup is adjusted by these hunks of foam. So humbucker sized with a single coil. I don't want to take it apart too much because I don't want to end up breaking anything here. They're very delicate, but bits of foam padding in there are what holds it all together. So on the open side it's just foam padding and then a single coil on the pole side. I assume that's the same for all three. Mega interesting. Alright guys, so as promised I did say I was going to show you how to string your guitar. Particularly at this end of the instrument. Like I said, don't be tying any foolish knots on here. It's criminal. Seriously, don't do it. Special place in hell for people who tie knots on the end of their guitars. You don't need to cut it straight away. You pull it all the way through, have your hole facing straight out. Your string goes on, pull it through, and then pinch it and pull it back to the first fret, slightly over. Then wrap it over once. See, I've gone over, then pinch and hold. Bend that up like this so it's out the way. Grab your string winder, wind it on around that side, it goes under, and around that side it goes under. So you got one over, one under, and then you just wind it, and that's it. No need for some silly knot. Trim it. The over and under really isn't all that necessary on your wound strings. I would do it on your unwound. It's not necessary on these. You can go all under. I just like to do it this way. But the key is there is no knot on here. So when it comes to changing a string, you cut your strings, you pull it off, and it comes off real easy. No knots. Less chance of stabbing your fingers. Pretty straightforward, hey? Right, I'll get the rest of these done, then we'll have a listen. Okay, and just the last little tweak. I just want to fix this nut a little bit. It's just a little bit high. Perfect. Right, we'll get that done and then we'll have a listen. Cool. These knobs work funny. So in the middle position, that's the volume for bridge, that's the volume for middle, and that's the volume for neck. So independent volumes in one tone, and then you can switch between, when you're there it's these two, when you're there it's all three, when you're there it's these two, and then you can blend them, or you can leave it in the middle and select them with the knobs, so that up falls here, that up falls middle, that up falls neck. Weird. Took me a little bit to work out, but anyways, here we go, bridge pickup.